The Nigerian Army has denied reports circulating that the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Lagbaja, has died. In a post on its X handle, the Army described the report, which went viral on social media, as fake news. Earlier, the Army has also dismissed media reports suggesting that there is a leadership vacuum following the absence of the Chief of Army Staff. Army spokesman Onyema Nwachukwu explained that the Army Chief is on an official leave and necessary protocol have been put in place for the Chief of Policy and Plans, Major General Abdusalami Ibrahim, to act on his behalf. He emphasized that the Nigerian Army has well laid out procedures and processes for dealing with different circumstances. Vice President Kashim Shatima will lead Nigeria's delegation to the 2024 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting scheduled for the 21st to 26th of October in the Pacific island of Apia, Samoa. Vice President Shatima is expected to join King Charles of England and other world leaders from 56 member countries at the first meeting. They will deliberate on the theme, One Resilient Common Future, Transforming Our Commonwealth. In a press statement signed by the Vice President's media aide, the Vice President will participate in the People's Forum organized by the Commonwealth Foundation for People to engage with leaders on global development issues. He is also expected to use the platform provided by the Commonwealth Business Forum to further attract investors to Nigeria. To the war against drugs, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have arrested 2 businessmen and a Canada-based nurse at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos for attempting to import and export cocaine pallets and parcels of loud. In a statement by Director of Media and Advocacy, one of the suspects, who claimed to be importing fish into Nigeria from Thailand, excreted 5 big-sized wraps of cocaine weighing 400 grams. Another suspect, a 26-year-old businessman returning from Brazil via Addis Ababa, was arrested during the inward clearance of passengers. A total of 162,000 bottles of codeine-based syrup were intercepted from 2 containers at the Apapa Seaport in Lagos. At least 7,200,000 pills of illicit drugs were also seized from a listed container from India in Onne, River State. NDLEA operatives arrested other suspects in raids across Bauchi, Ondo, Edo, and Lagos State. It's Bayelsa State, where several riverine communities have been impacted by flash floods, and the state government has started to assess the damage in this region. The Commissioner for Environment stated that this assessment is important for providing timely support and sufficient relief to those affected. Joseph Kunde tells us more.
The state government has been preparing for flooding, but some communities are still facing challenges. This has prompted Commissioner of Environment Ben Ololo and other officials to visit these areas to evaluate the situation. In parts of Yenagoa, some neighborhoods are now hard to reach because of floodwaters caused by garbage-blocking drains. The situation is worse in Biseni, where some homes and roads have been deserted due to the overflow from the Orachi River.
Some persons parking out of their homes to look for higher grounds where they can put up makeshift accommodation to stay. So that comes with its own challenges. They will need insecticide-treated tents. They will need some level of support to continue living there pending when the water recedes, so that they can go back to their homes and live their normal life.
One fish farmer has had to drain his ponds as the water level rises.
We have no alternative than to harvest our fishes, if not to run at a loss. That is what the flood has done us. It has ravaged our communities.
The state government is working on plans to help those affected by the flooding.
Issues of flood, of course, natural disasters. We are all aware that the Lagdo Dam was also released from Cameroon, and of course part of the flood you're seeing from these rivers as a result of those waters that have been released. We are hopeful that this report will not only get to His Excellency the Governor, but will also by extension, get to Mr. President, so that the needful can be done in terms of ecology funds. If those funds from the federal government are used judiciously, which if they come and do it, I believe strongly that the people of Biseni will not suffer this hardship that happens.
Going from here, we are going to carry out a sensation campaign, which we have been doing already. We've been on air, trying to stand people of the need why they should keep the environment clean, take responsibility of the environment, and ensure waste are dumped at government-approved receptacles.
While many residents fear the waters will rise further, they hope it will not be as catastrophic as the floods in 2022. Joseph Kunde, TVC News, Biseni.
Still 9 million hectares of farmland have been affected by flooding in Adamawa State, and this has further worsened food insecurity in the northeast. And that's according to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. Senior reporter Wulabi Adenusi compiled this report.
This year's World Food Day celebration in Adamawa State commenced with a visit to farms and farm field schools in Jabilamba in Gire local government area to demonstrate FAQ support for local farmers in improving agricultural practices and building resilience. Some stakeholders who spoke on the positive contribution of the nation's food security in line with President Tinubu's agricultural policy.
COAS has done a very, very commendable job here, and they have, in fact, opened up the eyes of us many that we have seen here. You can see clearly from their harvest.
Addressing a stakeholder meeting, Dauda Dombe says the recent flood in some states in the northeast has affected farmlands. He emphasized that the region faces severe food security challenges due to climate change. He explained that from September 16 to 30th, approximately 3.82 million hectares of land were flooded, affecting 1.39 million hectares of farmland.
In Nigeria, particularly in the northeast, we are confronted with profound issues of food insecurity. Recent data reveals that from 16 to 30th September, approximately 3.82 million hectares of land experienced flooding, affecting 1.39 million hectares of cropland. Among the hard-hit states are Borno, where 143,395 hectares of cropland were flooded.
The FAQ official further stressed on the severity of malnutrition, noting that about 3 million children under age 5 in Nigeria are stunted, reflecting inadequate access to essential nutrients.
It is alarming that approximately 3 million children under 5 in Nigeria are stunted, reflecting the severity of undernutrition. Moreover, malnutrition exists in various forms, including micronutrients deficiencies and rising obesity rates among adults, indicating that our food system are failing to provide the necessary nutrients for a healthy life.
The meeting concluded that flooding has impacted more than 50,000 people, causing significant damage to farmland and infrastructure, which requires urgent and effective intervention.